Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SportsPoint. My name is Frankie Breit, and we're happy to have you here for I don't know what number episode, but there's another one here for you today. Joined here in the studio is Keaton Waala, everybody. It's a treat for you. Yeah. And, of course, Liam Statz. Liam, thank you so much for being here after your hiatus. You feeling better?
I am feeling better. I can't hear out of this ear right now, but I am feeling much better.
And you had an ear infection?
What do you mean?
Correct?
What do you mean?
You have one.
You currently
Liam
have.
still is ill.
Currently ill.
So
not contagious. Not contagious.
Don't stop the get well wishes for Liam. But Keaton Waala, we didn't know when you'd be back, but here you are again, filling in for now Brody.
Kind of crazy.
I'm happy you're here.
The last one on the list that he hasn't replaced yet is
me.
Is you.
Yeah. Next week.
Is this a hit now? You have the hit out on me?
I didn't say anything of the sort.
We were talking though. I was like, next time Keaton's got a host. So,
yeah.
Brody is off home, I believe, for Thanksgiving. He was at the Packer game yesterday, the same as Keaton and I were. So if we sound a little funny, it's because we can't use our voices all that much because we were screaming, bringing the team to a win. But yeah, Brody, we're missing you. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and I guess that brings to my next point. Happy Thanksgiving to all our viewers. This Thanksgiving week episode. Why are you looking at me like that?
I was looking at him because he did this. He did the weird heart.
That's a what?
Have you never seen this before?
Like
that was
Italian?
Hey, Italian. No, it's a finger heart.
Yeah. What value does
have
this
you
have?
actually never seen?
I don't know what that is. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody watching. At the end of today, we're gonna go around and give thanks. Okay, we're gonna say what we're thankful for this year. So in the back of your mind, have that going. First segment of the day: crowning champions. This is a segment where we highlight one aspect of the sports community / sports world. I think today we've all picked a player or a team. I'll go first. Thank you guys for acknowledging me and sending me, hey, Frankie, go first.
It's definitely not because you're first on the script.
No, it's not. It's definitely not that one. Anyway, crowning champions. My champion for this week is the entire Packers receiving core. Wide receivers, tight ends, they're the youngest in the league. And we've seen them struggle. We've seen them grow, and now we're seeing them thrive. Dontavian Wicks had a great game this past weekend. We will break it down a little bit. I don't want to get too far into detail. But Jaden Reed looks dangerous. Christian Watson had a bounce-back game. Romeo Doubs continues to put up touchdowns. Luke Musgrave continues to grow. Tucker Kraft finally broke out on a big, almost touchdown catch.
Almost.
I mean, it was still a big catch and a run after the catch, but unfortunately stepped out of bounds. But I'm just so proud of this young team, and I'll talk about it more later, like I said, but just these are the things that we get to be happy about this year. It might not be all the wins. It might not be the playoffs, but we have to look for these little things to get happy about, which are not so little. They're very, very big things. So shout out the Packers receiving core. Liam, what do you got?
See, now on the script, it says I have this kid named Alex Nedeljkovic. He's a goaltender, but he did a good job. But I actually saw something before today.
You changed your mind.
I'm changing my mind right now.
So honorable mention.
So honorable mention to Alex Nedeljkovic. But what I'm going to do is the special teams unit for Texas A&M Augies, specifically their kickoff unit, because yesterday in their blowout win over a school I can't even remember the name of right now.
I can look it up for you if you'd like.
Please do so. Okay. They sent a kickoff unit composed entirely of walk-ons.
Really?
Who, in the ensuing kickoff, forced a fumble and recovered the ball on the 10-yard line.
That is so cool.
Yes, so I wanted to give a championship to them because that's the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I'm very happy that they all contributed to that.
38-10 over the... How do you say that? Abilene Christian Wildcats? Did I say that wrong?
Probably.
I probably did.
Probably. I've never heard of them
If you said
before.
with confidence, I would believe you.
I don't have that.
Shit.
So,
Okay. Well,
anyway, thank you for that. That is a very unique champion to crown. Texas A&M haven't been too successful in recent years.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't follow Texas or
I don't follow
A&M or college
any of the
football that
southern.
much. They're fourth
college
in the
footballs.
SEC West.
I don't follow the SEC either.
Me neither. So moving on. Keaton Waala, who are you crowning today?
I'm crowning the Oklahoma City Thunder NBA. Shut your mouth, all right? Just for the fact that they were a garbage team last season, and now they are second in the West. And again, early season disclaimer, as we will talk about for the Bucks later on, early season stuff and shenanigans of the ladder is just going to be up and down. So, right now they could be doing as good as they are, but they could easily fall. But just to highlight that they beat Golden State Warriors back-to-back. Golden State Warriors, I think, are 8th right now, 8th or 9th. But that's obviously still an insanely good team. So just to do that, and then having some really highlight players that are really just kind of picking up the pace. I don't know how to pronounce his actual full name. It's Shai Alexander. Don't know how to pronounce the middle bit. Everybody just calls him SGA.
SGA.
But SGA being their star player, he put 40 points up in one of the Golden State Warrior games. Like, for him to do that against a team like that is pretty nuts. So
yeah.
I definitely want to highlight some underdog teams like that.
The Thunder were the favorite team of my roommate in Chicago when I went to school there. He liked Chris Paul a lot, but he's not there anymore.
No.
And they lost in the playoffs that year. So it might have been the bubble year, honestly. I think it was bubble year. All right, anyway, guys, thank you so much for your champions being crowned here today. Shout out to everybody who had a great week in the sports world. We can't name me all, but those are the ones we picked today. A 3-point campus roundup, you guys. We're going to take a look at different aspects of campus sports, and we'll each highlight one of our favorites from the week. I already know what Liam's going to talk about.
What?
But for me, it's going to be women's volleyball. Their season just finished up this past week. They reached the regional semifinal this year for the 6th time in the last 10 seasons, and they forced a 5th set against Hope, which is a huge ask. They're a humongously good team in that division, or in that conference, I should say. Actually, are they in the WIAC?
Yes.
They are?
Yes.
Okay.
We participate in basically everything WIAC.
Sweet.
Outside of
it was,
tennis.
it was that tournament. They forced a 5th set, and unfortunately they came up short in that game, but a fantastic season. They finished up 23-11. So huge shout out to them, and looking forward to next season for those girls. So going forward, Liam, what do you got?
Well, UWSP hockey is on a roll. They did have a little bit of a shaky kind of weekend there where they lost back-to-back in an away games, but since then they've won 5 straight.
Hey.
They've basically been at home. They did have an away game against Stout. They won their conference opener against Eau Claire last Tuesday, 5-3. Alex Proctor, 30 saves in the net, stood very tall. They then went the next day to beat Stout in an away game, 7-6. That game was chaotic.
Sorry, Reese.
Yeah, sorry. Reese mentioned. Reese mentioned. Yeah.
Sorry, your team conceded 4 goals in the 4th or the 3rd period.
Yeah, that's bad. But also in the 4th period.
That's bad.
I said 4th period. 3rd period.
I also
Alex
said it,
Proctor did come out with a leg injury.
Sucks.
Undisclosed leg injury at the moment, but for the foreseeable future, the entirety, all of the goaltending duties lay on the shoulders of the freshman Ryan McGuire. That's insane. We have nobody else.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what the plan is going to be. If they are, they have not disclosed it to the press, or at the very least us. I did ask about it, don't worry. So either way, it's on him. He then had to play the next game, which we did cover here on SportsPoint, which you can still see. You can check out the replay of that right here on the channel.
Sure thing.
He made 19 saves. He faced overall 24 shots. 22 shots. 19 saves. Kind of let in a couple that are kind of iffy, but the tie at the time, tying goal, make it 3-3, not his fault.
No.
Pointers had a little bit of a problem staying out of the penalty box that night. Michael Eftimovsky, his first collegiate goal, his first as a pointer. Congrats to him. Sam Ide, the big man, with the eventual game winner.
Yes, sir.
Set up by Dawson Strino, who has 10 assists on
That's
the season
crazy.
now. That is an insane stat to have. And I did want to mention him because I thought he deserves it. Victor Wenberg, the goalie for Northland College, 45 saves.
He had himself a night.
That's insane.
Yeah, those were the guys who shouted out on the broadcast too. Was Dawson Strino obviously, and then Victor Wenberg on Northland. But yeah, you said a shaky weekend, but at the end of the day,
We got there.
win's a win.
Win's
you know
a
what I
win.
mean? So, do you know where they're ranked
Yes,
now?
they improved this 6-2 on the season, and that means that they are ranked number 9. They jumped up about 5 spots.
And 3-0 in the WIAC. Very important.
Take it.
Going forward, Ryan McGuire is in goal. Now, this is not like the pros. This is just like you have your college roster. There's not someone who's just going to come out of the blue and say, oh, I play hockey. I've goaltended before. So who's the backup if something were to happen?
Well, in that instance, they look to these guys who may have played in high school before. Most of them played for our junior team.
Of course,
you know,
yeah.
they don't really come out of high school anymore, but they'll look at these guys, they'll be like, any of you, put on the pads for like a game. And just maybe if it comes down to it, are you going to be able to goaltend?
No,
That's all they can do.
You never want to go down that road
No.
mentally even, but it's worth talking about.
Yeah.
And like we did say, Ryan McGuire did have a good showing overall. And I think just as time goes on, as he gets more starts, it's only going to get better from there.
Yeah.
And he is a freshman, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so
It's
obviously
a very young goaltending core we have right now.
Right.
Matthias
Right,
Smith,
so-
shout out to him. I really wish I could have gotten to see you play this year because I was really looking forward to
Yeah.
it. Did suffer a horrific injury in the offseason. He's doing fine. He's okay. He'll be back next year. And Alex Proctor are both sophomores. So they're going to be around for a long time. It's
No
just
better
that,
teaching moment than the experience.
Yeah.
So, all right, thank you, Liam, for that point. And to round out the three-point try, Keaton Waala, what do you got?
So for Pointers basketball, we mentioned in the last broadcast that the St. Olaf game was happening, and we lost that game 61-64, very close game. The thing I wanted to highlight from that game, and obviously this is kind of just a college basketball thing, is we were only 3 for 17 from the three. And the St. Olaf squad didn't have much better percentage on that, but those are the vital shots that we really have to make, especially given just how college basketball rules are set for timing and all that type of stuff. That was actually one of the last shots from St. Olaf was a three-pointer to get them that lead. And just imagine if we made one of those, it would have been tied. If we made two of those, we would have led by 3. So just something to highlight, something to think about. And also for that game, it seemed like they were leading by, double digits, and then we would come back, and then they would lead by double digits, and then we would come back. So I don't know if that's more of a, our starting 5 and our bench players. We have to mix something else up on that end. But anyways, going into the Edgewood game, we won that one 80-54. Yeah, absolutely smoked them. Both teams, St. Olaf and Edgewood, aren't that good. So that game, that first game against St. Olaf is kind of alarming. But again, Edgewood smoked them. And to highlight, Josiah Butler dropping 20 points in both games. He's only a freshman. That's going to be a vital player moving on. I'm pretty sure against St. Olaf, that was he did 20 points in 17 minutes, and in Edgewood, 20 points in 25 minutes.
Dang.
So he put up the same amount of points, just shaved some time off. So that's crazy to think how good of a player he is.
Shout out Josiah Butler. We tried to watch the Edgewood game, Keaton and I, and both times we turned it on, it was halftime, and then we turned it back on, it was over. So we just missed it entirely.
Good job, guys.
No, but obviously St. Olaf, they dropped that game, but good to see them fight back throughout that game, make it close towards the end, but just obviously a tough one to drop, but obviously bouncing back against Edgewood. And I'm sure they got more games coming up this week. So they'll look. They're off the suspension now.
Yeah, I don't know actually this week because it's Thanksgiving weekend, so I actually don't think that they play a game this week. I think the only teams playing this week are women's hockey this Tuesday.
Go get them.
Go get them.
But they are off the postseason suspension, right?
They can now be. Well, I mean, if they're good enough, they can be eligible for the NCAA tournament now.
Good. It's going to happen. Knock out. NFL updates of this week. Let's take a look at some NFC games that went down. We'll take a look at the AFC, some highlight games from there. So, obviously, the Vikings lost to the Broncos on Sunday Night Football. You love to see it. Josh Dobbs fell short in his first loss for the Vikings. Took a big hit in that game from Kareem Jackson, who's been getting fined, suspended, ejected, like you wouldn't believe, for hitting people leading in the head. So that one didn't get a flag, but is being reviewed right now.
So he can't learn from any of his mistakes?
No, and he's an old-time player, too. He's like 35. So he was around when that hit was legal, and that's just his style of play. But I don't remember him ever having a ton of those in the recent years. But this year, he's really struggled with that. Moving on in the NFC, the 49ers continue their rampage with a win over the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield not happy right now with his team, but it is what it is. The Giants and their rookie quarterback, DeVito, not related to Danny DeVito, throwing 3 touchdowns to take down the Commanders. There was a huge fight in that game. I believe a bunch of people were ejected.
Really?
Yeah. The Commanders have been struggling as of late. They seem like that kind of team every season, especially when you have a coach like Ron Rivera, who is a good coach, but hasn't been able to get his team to the playoffs, I think, since he was with the Panthers in 2017 or 18. So the Commanders can't catch a break right now, but the Cowboys defeated the Panthers. No shocker there. Duran Bland with his 4th pick 6 of the year. Trayvon Diggs usually is their takeaway master on defense and is finding interceptions left and right, but he tore his ACL this season. Duran Bland, second-year player, has found that role for this team. 4th pick 6 of the year. Huge for that young man. On the AFC side of things, the Ravens smashed the Bengals. Huge news here. Joe Burrow is out for the year with a torn ligament in his wrist. Pain.
A lot of quarterbacks.
So many quarterbacks are out this season.
Yeah.
We've seen so many second stringers and first-year starters this season. It's unreal. The Browns just signed Joe Flacco. I thought Joe Flacco lived under a rock now. Because Deshaun Watson's out for the year with a shoulder as well, so that sucks. Not that I like Deshaun Watson.
Is anybody really sad that Deshaun Watson?
That's what I was just going to get into. It's like, I could care less about you, but it was worth mentioning.
Yeah.
But that sucks. And I saw a comparison from Burrow to Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck retired very early because he got sacked so much in his career and suffered through injuries. Joe Burrow's first season, tore an ACL. Next season goes to the Super Bowl. Next season, AFC Championship, but still led the NFL, I believe, in sacks. And now this season, torn ligament, which has nothing to do with a sack. But it's worth mentioning that he is frequently sacked and getting injured. And if he had better protection, mayhaps he wouldn't be injured so much. So I saw that comparison on social media. Thought I'd mention it. The Browns escaped with a win over the Steelers, 13-10. DTR got his first, I believe, maybe not his first win for the Browns. He's a rookie from UCLA. He's a very dangerous quarterback on the ground for them. And then the Jets hit new lows, you guys. They fell to the Bills 32-6, and they benched. Yes?
No, keep going.
They benched Zach Wilson for.
For Tim Boyle.
Tim Boyle.
Right? But here's the thing. They didn't bench him. He's QB3 now. He's all the way down.
Oh, really?
I'm not even joking. Coach Saleh on the decision to start QB Tim Boyle this week. He adds that QB Trevor Siemian will be the immediate backup. He's QB3.
That's crazy.
That's not bench. That's all the way down.
Did you see the clip where Zach Wilson ran into Robert Saleh in that game and he decked him and they both went to the ground? And everyone was saying that's so poetic that those two fell to the ground together. So obviously the bench Zach Wilson. And when Zach Wilson first took the field, he fell over. He tripped over himself on the way to the field.
Wait a second. I think we glossed over it. So Packers legend
Tim Boyle
is going to be the new starting.
Who was the second stringer over Jordan Love his first year in 2020. I miss the 2020 Packers, you guys. I miss them so much. I'm down bad.
If you ever want to hurt yourself, just go back and watch the highlights.
I'm okay.
He was telling me he was watching Aaron Rodgers highlights from last season.
I watched. And Aaron Rodgers didn't have a good season last season.
Okay,
but I watched Rodgers highlights
from
last
year.
That
makes you look insane, right?
Why?
Yes.
What do you mean, why?
Why does it make me look
You're
insane?
You're watching QB highlights from last. If you are sitting in a dark room, watching that, crying.
It might have been dark. I don't remember.
Oh my God, dude.
I wasn't crying this time.
It's definitely past midnight. Just phone up.
Oh, for sure it was past midnight.
Oh yeah. See, there you go.
Keaton, how do you live with this man?
Okay.
That is deranged behavior.
I was sad.
That's psychotic X behavior,
I miss Aaron Rodgers. I love Jordan Love. I really love him. But I still miss Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah, sure. But you sitting in a dark room staring at your phone, it's like stalking his Instagram page, which I'm sure you don't do that too, right?
I haven't in a while.
I mean, for me, it's the fact that it's last season's highlights.
Yeah, last season wasn't a good season. They almost pulled it off, made the playoffs.
Did they end on his last ever pass thrown in Green Bay, which was an interception to the
I
Lions?
avoid that pass like the plague. But it popped up on me on a short, on YouTube Shorts. Don't watch YouTube Shorts. It popped up in the middle of a short. I was like, ah!
Speaking of which,
yes?
do we think they're going to win this week?
We'll talk about that.
All right.
But the Jets, Wilson gets benched. He was showing flashes this season. Obviously, has the worst offensive line in football. And I hate the narrative. Yes, has he regressed in the past couple weeks? Yes. But every time he's in the pocket and he's they're just dogging on him for accuracy and timing and holding the ball too long. And then Tim Boyle comes in. The narrative is, oh, he's got nowhere to throw. Everybody's covered left, right, and center. Make it make sense. I know we don't like Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson has not lived up to expectations. He's not meant to play this year at all. He's supposed to sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a season and then be the guy in a few years. But it is what it is. It's not my team. You know what is my team? The Green Bay Packers, and they picked up a huge job.
They did it.
20 down to the wire game over the Chargers. Keaton, Waala, and myself were there. Brody was there. And Keaton.
I was there in spirit.
Liam was obviously there in spirit. You watched the game on TV?
I did.
Sweet. I don't know, like every game I've been to in the regular season, the Packers have won.
Same thing with Brody.
Yeah, same thing with Brody. He's been there twice, I think. I've been there 4 times. 3 times in the stand, 1 time on the sideline. I was working for ESPN. Best night of my life. Haven't seen them lose in a regular season game. Kept the streak going there. And Keaton, that was probably the loudest I've heard Lambeau Field. I don't know if you agree.
Maybe with the area around us, I could agree with that. I would say I've probably heard it louder.
Okay.
I want to say, no, you were at that Rams game.
In 2021?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we played the Rams again last year as well, right?
That was the one I was at the sideline.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought that one was loud, like really loud.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I even remember that. It was just a surreal moment. But I felt like there was a lull in the middle of the game.
Yes.
And then
100%.
everything just got really loud
Yeah.
towards the end. It was such a great vibe in there. But there's so many stupid people, stupid Packers fans, around me, like every single time. Oh, I need Sean Clifford. Oh, Joe Barry Blitzmore.
Sean Clifford?
Literally everybody's
Are
begging
you
for it.
kidding me? Sean Clifford.
And people are yelling Blitzmore like they don't realize Joe Barry has the highest blitzing defense in the NFL.
Yeah, but it is also Sean Barry.
It's the worst defense in the NFL, in my opinion. I hate the Packers defense. I hate Joe Barry.
I don't hate the Packers. Okay, so here's the.
I love the Packers
I love
defensive
the Packers
players.
defensive players, right?
Yes.
I just hate the fact that they're thrown into a scheme by a. I actually almost just swore.
It's okay.
By a
I might allow it.
less than reputable man whose name rhymes with Mo Sari.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know what he's doing.
I'll take Joe Barry for 400, please.
You take Joe Barry for 400, you'd be gosh darn correct. That man does not know how to run a defense. He doesn't know how to run the Green Bay Packers defense. He is trying. What he's trying to do is he's taking a square. He's taking a square peg, and there's a circle hole, and he's trying to go and it's not working.
I will give him credit. In the fourth quarter, he ran one high safety and he manned up, and it almost cost them really bad. But Quentin Johnson dropped the ball. Did you see that?
I did.
We both saw.
That, that would have been the
hands.
touchdown.
It probably would have been a touchdown. We would have lost the game.
100%.
But I love the manning up side of it because I've seen him play too much soft zone, and I was tired of it. But
Joe Barry, if you're watching this, you suck.
Yeah, he's definitely doing that.
And I don't like his scheme. I don't like his situational play calling. But at the same time, the people who are like, Joe Barry sucks. Every defensive play, like Joe Barry didn't miss that sack. Joe Barry didn't break contain. Joe Barry didn't miss that tackle. So it's like, yes, but also
You've got to
the performance has to be there.
Yeah.
But I also
yeah.
feel like when we say that, like, we have to split the blame. And we always talk about this. Joe Barry, like, has an occasional good call or, good game. Well, then he stays with us.
It's just
and
enough.
Then we're
He
gonna,
just does enough to
Then
stay
we're
on
going to
the
have
team.
him for another however many seasons. Like,
Yeah.
we might as well just dump
It
the
was-
blame
it
on
was
him.
last week. It was like a couple weeks ago. I think it was the win against the Rams. when
Yeah.
we had great defense. It was
Blew
the best
things
that
out of
defenses looked
proportion.
ever. And I remember that whole time we were going, "Yes, Joe Barry, he's our Lord and Savior." He's our Lord on one knee, shouting to the heavens, "He is our defensive coordinator. Hallelujah!" And then the very next week, we were going back to going like he's the worst guy we've ever seen.
I just want a young guy who's not old and doesn't know how to coach defense.
We're never gonna get that.
Yeah, never. But some highlights here, you guys. Jordan Love, 27 of 40, back-to-back weeks with 40 pass attempts, only missing 13 passes, 68% completion percentage, his highest of the year, 322 yards. The first time a Green Bay Packers quarterback in 707 days has passed for over 300 yards. Aaron Rodgers didn't do it once last season. Jordan Love hasn't done it yet till this past weekend. Last time it happened was December of 2021. It might have been it was 2021, I think, when we played the Vikings at home.
That's pretty
crazy.
crazy stat.
Maybe use some other team even.
Purple
Maybe
incarnation of Satan.
Exactly. But 2 touchdowns as well. I think that would, like I said last week, the Steelers game was his best game as a starter. Mine's the 2 picks. Now this is his best game as a starter. This is the standard. Keep her going. So many injuries for both teams. We saw Joey Bosa go off on a cart with a foot injury in the first quarter,
That one was
crying on the cart.
That was very depressing.
I still don't know what happened.
It could be that something. Well, I mean, he's a guy that struggled with a couple of injuries before in his past.
Yeah.
He's a very competitive person, so it could be something that is not apparent to us, but it's apparent to him, and that's why he was very upset about it.
Yes.
It could be like some sort of internal injury that we can't see.
Yeah.
Apparently. Either way, it's a very depressing moment because he is such a competitive player and he's a very good player. And he wants
Exactly.
to win so bad.
Yeah.
And he's kind of. I'm not gonna say it, but he's kind of taken the Chargers' lead.
He makes them relevant on that
He
defense.
makes them relevant.
The Chargers have a terrible defense with a defensive head coach who stinks, and they have the pieces on that team to be an elite defense. Eric Kendricks, Derwin James, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa. You don't know why they haven't put it together yet. But injuries on our end, Devontae Campbell out with a stinger, Aaron Jones avoided a torn ACL. Looked really scary in the moment, but according to Matt LaFleur, it's not going to be as long-term as we think. Emmanuel Wilson went out with a dislocated shoulder. Dontavian Wicks, concussion. Luke Musgrave didn't practice today with a hip injury. The Packers just signed.
We're so injured.
I know. The Packers just signed James Robinson back on the practice squad and Patrick Taylor from the Patriots practice squad, who spent the last 4 seasons in Green Bay. He just disappeared for a couple games on the Patriots practice squad the last couple months. But he's back because we're so injured. A.J. Dillon's fine. A.J. Dillon's looking good. Thank you, A.J. Dillon. And yeah, back on the defense. Defense looked really bad, but had so many lucky breaks and still somehow came up huge in some key moments.
I think that's who was it that dropped the ball?
Keaton Allen dropped a touchdown.
Yeah, I think
Quentin Johnston dropped a go-ahead touchdown, or
Yeah.
at least get them in field goal position on the final drive.
The Chargers dropped every single ball that was
Yeah,
thrown
and
at them.
Parham, their tight end, dropped a bunch. So lucky break. And there were so many guys wide open all day who just didn't haul it in. At the end of the day, shut your mouth. We won the game. Huge game. That's a team that went toe-to-toe with the Lions. So, yeah. Huge, or not huge, I'm just going to say. A little tidbit here from Brody, who's also at the game. He said it was a great game to watch, super competitive, awesome atmosphere. Would recommend going to Titletown on a game day. I would too. And like we said, Brody's 2-0, one attending Packers games. His last one was the Dolphins game in 2018, which is a good game.
That's 5 years ago.
2018 was not a good year. Oh my God, I hated that season. But let's, hey guys, let's go
We
into.
just saw in Frankie's eyes dim, and then as he was
I have,
thrown back into flashbacks.
I have what's that called? Like a
photographic memory.
memory when it comes to the Packers. Name a game, name a season. I'll tell you all about it. Go ahead.
2011.
That's too far.
Bro.
2017 to now.
2017.
Okay, what game?
Oh crap! I can't remember anything. Just one of any of them.
Just one of them?
Yeah, go ahead. One of the Bears ones.
What?
One of the Bears ones.
The Bears ones. Oh no. Well, the first Bears game.
Photographic memory.
Shut your mouth. The first Bears game of the season we wore our whiteout jerseys. And I believe it was that season Devontae Adams got trucked in the face by Danny Trevathan and his helmet bent in half and he got stretchered off the field. It happened to him later that season in the Panthers game. He got hit by Thomas Davis.
Oh.
Also huge concussion.
Oh.
We won that game. But we wore the whites, the color rush whites, and Devontae Adams went out with a concussion because he got decked in the face and knocked out cold.
Like his face mask went.
His helmet literally crushed into itself. He got hit so hard. Watch the clip.
I actually think I know what you're. I think I remember
Is this
what you're
true?
talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the one where his. I can't remember if that's that game or not, but you remember the hit where his mouth guard went flying.
Yes, that was that same hit.
Was
Yep.
that okay? All right.
Give me one more. Different year, different game.
No idea. 2019.
Okay. Any week? Week 1 through 17.
Week 5.
Okay. So we're 3-1. Oh, 3-2. Okay, it was Sunday Night Football or Thursday Night Football against the Eagles. Back and forth game. Went down to the wire. Picked off at the goal line, passing to MVS for a game-winning touchdown. Didn't get it.
Which one did you say it was?
Week 5.
Week 5.
Eagles game. They were 3-1. They lost and went 3-2. I know it's true. Carson Wentz balled out, and they sucked that year. I was so angry. It was a really close game. Unless they had a bye, and it was week 6 that they played.
That's
Eagles was
week 4. Eagles was week 4.
You're kidding.
No. Cowboys were week 5.
Oh my God, I'm so sad. So that
You're probably right about everything else, though.
okay. So it's week 4. I thought they were 3-1, and they dropped the game with 3-2. No, they're 3-0. Dropped 3-1. The next week, Aaron Jones pops off 4 touchdowns against the Cowboys. I ate Chinese food from Panda Express after doing a show Sunday.
my God.
Young Frankenstein sat in my green recliner chair. It was the best Panda Express meal I
Young
ever
Frankenstein?
experienced. Yes,
You know, if you scroll back far enough on your Instagram, you can find all those pictures.
yes, you could. So if you want to stalk me, sorry we got so off topic.
I would say we're right on topic.
That was so much fun. Let's look at some stats from the game. We talked about Jordan Love. Jaden Reed, 3 for 46 and a touchdown on the ground. A.J. Dillon, 14 of 29. The run game's abysmal. Receiving, Dontavian Wicks, 3 for 91. Had that huge catch. He bounced off a big hit and took it for 30 yards. So cool. Romeo Dobbs, 5 for 53 and a touchdown. Jaden Reed again, 4 for 46.
Jaden Reed was our
He had
leading
46 yards in the passing game and the rushing game.
He
That
was our
guy's
leading rusher. that
insane.
game. Did you know
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
That's bad.
It is really
That's
bad.
really, really bad.
Tucker Kraft, 2 for 32. A.J. Dillon, 4 for 32. Luke Musgrave, 4 for 28.
can't
And
take it
Christian
seriously
Watson,
that his
2
last
for
name's
21 and a touchdown. What's that?
I can't take it serious. His last name is Kraft. I'm sorry.
Because of,
Kraft mac and cheese.
Well,
It just-
and the owner of the Cowboys, Patriots, Robert Kraft.
Yeah, see, I
Hate that guy.
I don't think about him. I have omitted him.
I think
from
about
my
him
brain.
too much, and not in the.
Because you're an ex-Patriots fan.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
actually
that's so
facts. I
weird.
forgot about
I
that phase
hate
of my
that.
life.
I hate that.
I just like their jerseys.
God, I hate
You know when I became a Packers fan, like for real, because I always liked the Packers. I always liked the Patriots too.
turned
When they
my chin
lost to
up
the
at you.
Seahawks in the NFC Championship game in 2015,
That's when you became a Packers fan.
Yes.
Arguably the worst moment of my
I
entire
was so
life.
locked in that game, and then they lost, and I was like,
Why do you think I hate the Seahawks?
that's why I hated the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Well, which, by the way, I don't know if you know this, but when you have your ball, when you have your hands around the ball like this, right, and then the Seahawks guy is hugging you from the outside, I hope you know that it's an interception and not a touchdown. Just so you are aware. Just I don't know if
Thank
you knew
you.
that. I
Thank
don't know
you.
if you knew that, Keaton.
I don't know anything about
That's
football.
great.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't know what
but,
the rules are.
I just want to let you know that
We're so off topic again. No, it's
Well,
my
you
fault.
opened this can
I
of
know
worms.
I know I did. Players of the game, you guys. Jordan Love is my player of the game. He has shown continuous growth over the past 3 weeks. Amazing accuracy, decision makings, and fundamentals. He had a career day. I mean, the guy, so many times the last couple weeks, is throwing off balance. He's throwing without his feet under him.
Patrick Mahomes.
He's trying to do too much of that. And then he's finally trying to set his feet, open up his hips, throw that ball downfield, and trust his fundamentals, trust his legs, rather than just trying to do it with all his arm and not processing it and going, okay, yeah, oh, there it is. You know what I mean? So he's done such a much better job with that.
Such a much.
Thank you. I was going to gloss over and just keep going, but you pointed it out. Yeah, so highlight Jordan Love there. Thank you for your performance. Go ahead.
Liam?
You're such a.
Thank you, Jordan Love, for your performance. Can't wait for the Lions game.
You are such a silly human being.
Thank you.
Jaden Reed, 4 receptions for 46 yards,
There it is.
3 carries for 46 yards. I had to look at that stat twice to make sure that it wasn't glitching out and that it wasn't a typo. Twice, and it was like combining everything.
Yeah.
1 touchdown. He was all over the field making plays. He was our leading rusher. That is a good stat for him. A bad stat otherwise for everything else.
Yeah. Good job. Thank you, Lee.
See, I got through it. I got through it.
Maybe you should host.
Swap?
Swap right now?
Not right now.
Oh, okay. Shout out Jaden Reed. Love that young guy. Keaton, who is your player of the game?
My player of the game is the fan.
That's so narcissistic.
He's thanking himself.
That's so
He's thanking
narcissistic.
himself.
Holy jeebus.
It's it's fan owned.
Yeah, that's not wrong.
Yeah, so it's the fans. We made it loud out there.
Is what it is.
Again, most of us attended the game. Good time.
Take the L.
I'll bring you
okay,
in
Keaton.
sometime.
Okay, Keaton. Just wait, buddy. Just wait.
But yeah, we made it loud in there, and we did the wave. Frankie loves the wave. We
Oh
did the
my
wave.
God! I'm so mad.
What are you, like a 3-year-old?
He doesn't like us doing the wave.
Dude, Do I really have to get into this right now?
Yes. I want to know why you don't like the wave. What?
The Packers organization and the coaching staff ask the crowd every time, please don't do the wave.
What?
Please don't do the wave. It's distracting to the offense. And they literally had the guy come on the announcement and say, please stop. And then they played a clip of Jordan Love saying, really? The wave right now? Save it for defense. And like always, the gold package fans make themselves look like idiots. Every week. Earlier this season, it was everybody selling their tickets to Lions fans.
Wow.
You done?
Yes.
Yeah.
I hate the wave. Why were they doing the wave at the football game, man?
Because people want to have fun.
That's not what you do.
So you don't go to a football game to watch football?
They don't want you to do that. I respect the team so much. Maybe you guys don't.
Okay, I can recall that we did the wave, I would say transitioning from defense to offense. It wasn't even like, oh, this is a vital moment in the offense. You guys got to be quiet.
Much
stay
discourse
quiet.
about it.
We just did the wave, man.
I hate the wave.
We did the wave.
Aaron
it was
Rodgers
fine.
hated the wave. I'll
was
tell you
fun.
that. Matt LaFleur hates the wave.
You gotta stop
Jordan-
riding on the back of
Well,
Aaron Rodgers.
once they had the Jordan Love announcement come on, everybody stopped. So that I appreciated.
It's almost like we were just, having fun.
Whoa!
Anyway,
Next one, when Brody's back, I'll have to hop out here. We'll all three hit.
Gotcha. All right, I'll let you know when.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
sounds good.
the Packers have a big game coming up against the Detroit Lions.
I didn't even say my Rashawn Gary. He got the sack in
Oh.
the fourth quarter, 2 minutes 30 left, making it 4th and long.
This episode is off the rails.
Sorry.
No, that's a big shout out. This is a
Yeah.
good point. Rashawn Gary hadn't had a sack in some time now. He really boosted his numbers from one game against the Saints. He had 3 sacks in that game. He finally gets his, I think, 5th of the year. He's been double teamed obviously every week, but he gets pressures nonstop. But like I say every week, the Packers defense are the kings of getting pressure on the quarterback and not bringing them down, and the ball going to a wide open Keenan Allen for 80-something yards. Anyway, Packers versus the Lions.
Sounds like you have some
We have
some
to
unresolved
we-
trust issues.
We're moving on. Okay. The Packers need to get pressure on Jared Goff. The Lions are 8-2. The game is on Thanksgiving at 11:30 a.m. This is a short week, Thursday game for the Packers, who are severely injured. We just talked about it. The Lions are the cream of the crop in the NFC right now, but they did almost lose to the Bears. Lol. That was a choke from the Bears, and I'm very disappointed in the Bears again. Why do you always make everything so bad?
Because it's the Bears.
Exactly.
The Bears
Still
suck really bad.
Suck. They were up 26-14 with 3 minutes left, and they lost.
Bears. What do you expect?
They lost
It's the
31-29, I believe. Or 26. I don't even know. They stink. But I don't know if that's a spark of hope that the Bears can almost beat the Lions, and so can the Chargers, and we just beat the Chargers. Keep the momentum going. Let's go. Keys to victory. My key is play complementary football. The passing game was amazing against the Chargers. But the thing is, the Chargers defense is the 32nd ranked passing defense, so it was probably the easiest gift you could have gotten for a young quarterback. The running game was really, really bad, and now the only real running back threat we have is A.J. Dillon because Aaron Jones just went down.
And Jaden Reed.
And Jaden Reed, good point. They really have good things going on the ground. A.J. Dillon's the only weapon they have for some time. If Jones has a knee injury, it might not be long term, but that's going to be at least 2 to 3 weeks. I have to think. And then Patrick Taylor, James Robinson aren't going to be the long-time answers. So A.J. Dillon's got to have a great game. The Packers' offensive line has struggled. They've been switching out John Runyon for Sean Ryan, Yosh Nijman, and Rasheed Walker. I would love to see Sean Ryan start this game because he's the better run-blocking guard on that right side. Had a great showing against Aaron Donald and the Rams a couple weeks ago and was in for a few plays against the Chargers. Maybe that'll continue. Hopefully it does. Liam, what's your key to victory?
Riding this momentum into Thursday. It's a short week, so they should be able to do that. It's not like the bye week where they, didn't have anything going for them. They've got to keep this momentum. Is it a home game or is it an away? It's an away game.
It's in Detroit.
Because
this is
I
tough.
remember that because the whole of the crowd was just blue and
At
silver.
Lambeau.
And that
How about we flip the script? Actually, that's not going to happen.
it's
No.
not gonna, but let's
The
try it.
Lions Stadium has been sold out for the first time in forever for the entire season
That's
because
bad.
they finally have a good team.
Yeah, finally have a good team.
Yeah.
But we need to go in there with, all of the momentum behind us, saying like we finally have a win, we're back on the upswing. This is a game in which we need to recollect our dignity because this is now 2 games that the Lions have on us, and that's not happened in a long time.
Please. What happened last year?
Did it happen last? Oh, it did. Yeah. So I'm sorry. It's 4 games. We're on a 4-game losing streak to the Lions right now. That's terrible. That's really bad. I don't want to have to look at most of my friends who are Detroit Lions fans and have them make fun of me because that's like it's deserved. It's very well deserved
Right now, yeah.
For now, but like, come on, man, please.
Imagine this team goes into Detroit on Thanksgiving and just kicks them in the nads.
When's the last
That'd
time
be
Detroit's
insane.
won a Thanksgiving game?
I know
Last year, did they beat the Vikings on Thanksgiving? No, they did. That was later.
I know it's been a long time. I'm pretty sure.
I thought they won last year.
Like I thought a long time.
But here's the thing: the Packers are just 2 games behind. We are currently in the 8th seed in the NFC. All we gotta do is get a couple games going, and we're back in the playoffs.
It was over the Vikings. Not last year. Like 9 years ago now.
So I was half right.
Yeah, almost
Sweet.
there.
Yeah. I mean, if they can go get this done, that would be so cool. And like I said, they are currently 1 seed out of the playoffs right now. A lot of things have to go their way. This is just like last season against the Cowboys. They win. They're 4-6, have 2 really tough games. They go 4-8, and then win out to the Lions game. If that can happen again, I don't care. I love the fun of it. Keaton, what's your key to victory?
My key to victory is utilizing our strength. I don't understand how in this Chargers game we start by doing a lot of passes, really carving up the field, and then we start running the ball, and then we're just like kind of giving up on what we knew was working.
Yeah.
So keep it simple, just really play into that, and again, I know it's going to be a tough game, but just utilize what we got.
And I'm right there with you. I feel like so many times this season, the Packers have shot themselves in the foot. And I look back to some of the trick plays they run on 3rd and short, 4th and short, and it's like, it's the first quarter. They haven't proven that they can stop the run yet. And we chose to throw it backwards 3 times, and Jordan Love slips on his face. That was a Saints game. But it's just like, you haven't proven that this isn't going to work. Try it first before you go way deep in the playbook and pull that out.
And it was like to your first point as well, just like with Love, like he doesn't have to be doing these super weird plays.
Yeah.
Like we can see just from this Chargers game, him just passing it normally is like, that's the way to go.
Yeah,
so just go that
for
way.
sure. NBA update brought to you by Keaton Waala.
So for the NBA update, obviously the Bucks from last broadcast, which again I didn't know I was going to be on. I know I was going to be back, but the Bucks went from 8th to 3rd.
Hey, good shot,
so
man.
that's just how you know the NBA ladder. It's always changing, especially early season, just with how many positions you can flop. Obviously, once you get later into the season, everything kind of just like evens out, and it's very hard to take over a spot, except when you're like in the last couple weeks, and it's just like knocking up like if you're in 1st or 2nd seed, stuff like that, or if you're getting in the play-ins, or if you're not. The Bucks won against the Bulls, Raptors, and Hornets. It was only like a 10-point lead against the Bulls, but won heavily against the Raptors and Hornets. Just because, again, I'm here and I don't know when I'm going to be back. I got to shout out Brook Lopez.
Big ups.
With 6 and 7 blocks in the Raptors and Hornets games, respectively. He's on a block rampage. Like, it's actually kind of insane how he's playing.
Love that dude.
And again, when we beat the Hornets, that was an in-season tournament game. So now we are 2-0 in our little division. So that's going good for us. And then just this past game, we had a big win against the Mavs, 132-125. Very close game. Giannis had 40 points. Dame had 27. Against Luka with 35 and Kyrie with 39. Everybody was playing out of their minds. And the fact that, again, we as a Bucks team went from 8th seed to now 3rd, facing a team like the Mavs, really showing who we are and that we're supposed to be in this top section of the East.
Yeah.
So I was very excited about that. For our next game, Wizards game, which is actually today on Monday when we film this, so we'll see how that goes. And then Wednesday against the Celtics, which is going to obviously be a tough one because the Celtics are a good team. It'll
Wizards
be kind of
won't
like
be
the
a tough
Mavs.
one.
No,
Hopefully
it
not.
shouldn't be.
They
But
suck.
again, let's see. And then we face the Wizards again, but again, hopefully we win that really heavily.
Yeah. Thank you, Keaton, for that. And the Bucks are kind of on the uptick right now. We were talking about this in the car on the way to the game yesterday. Thanasis Antetokounmpo has really come into his own as a defensive player. I don't know if you want to touch on that at all.
I saw it was a post about Brooke Lopez, again, just shouting them out like crazy. Brooke Lopez and Adrian Griffin, our head coach, just an interaction that they had with Brooke kind of taking more of the lead defensive-wise, just having calls on like how they should be playing defensive now that they don't have, a vital component, Drew Holiday. And so them really figuring that out and meshing a lot more, I think is obviously going to be the big turnaround of us just being, first, second, or third seed. Again, going from not having Drew but having an insane offense, we really have to figure out the defense, and I think we're finally starting to do that. So.
Yeah, Statz and Antetokounmpo, the stat is 1 of 14, 7.1%. Players are shooting 7.1% when being defended by Thanasis.
Yeah.
That is insane. And you were saying, like, he's coming into his own. He's not trying to be his brother.
Yes.
He's being his own player.
Very
and like
much.
you said, you need more defense.
Yeah, very much picking his own play style instead of just trying to be like Giannis, which if we had a Giannis clone, obviously, that would be awesome.
That would be sick.
But it doesn't seem like it's going that way, and so for him to actually play for himself
Yeah.
in that type of way is very important.
Yeah,
So.
huge up to the Bucks. Good luck to you guys this coming week. NHL time. NHL updates. Liam, your favorite time of the week. What's going on?
Vegas is on a little bit of a skid. That really hurts me to say. They have dropped the last three of they've dropped 3 of the last 4. They actually got shut out.
Sorry.
They got shut out last night against Alex Nedeljkovic, honorable mention from what feels like 3 years ago that when we started this show. Vancouver's still doing amazing, right up there with Vegas. I think they're tied for first right now.
Yep.
Panthers hitting their stride after a little bit of a rocky start to the season. They're number 2 in the Atlantic Division, and right behind the Boston Bruins, who have returned to their dominant form. Toronto, doing average. Good job, Toronto. Proud of you. Not doing bad. Edmonton, still a corpse. Corpse of an organization right now.
I really like their jerseys.
They're a really good team.
I really
Don't
like,
worry.
I really like their
Could
name.
he swap? Like, what's the fandom rules of like?
Brody said that Edmonton has 2 of the best players in the NHL.
You do. They're
but
just
you guys
they're a bad
suck.
team. So it's up to you. I'm going to give you a grace period. You haven't bought a jersey yet. I'm going to give you a
That's
grace period.
true.
I have to buy a jersey? You said they're $200.
Yeah. I bought a jersey.
Congrats! I'm not made of money.
But I think that locks it. Like if
I buy a
maybe it's
jersey,
not
I'm
a-
locked
that-
in.
yeah.
maybe it's
that
not
locks it.
jersey, just like any apparel.
Yeah,
Any
okay.
apparel. You buy
I
anything.
could get a little sweatshirt.
Well, I'm
Wait,
saying
but
that
do you
if
want to stay with
do-
that?
Yeah, if you do, you're an Edmonton Oilers fan until you die. If
Yeah.
you want to switch, now is your time.
I have to choose right now?
I mean, between maybe do you think you have to choose right now?
By next week?
By
Next week.
Okay.
By next week.
Because then you get Thanksgiving. Like
Yeah, I
yeah,
can
you
give
get
thanks
Thanksgiving.
for Edmonton and then move on.
Yeah.
Now
I
don't know
love
if
Edmonton.
You notice Keaton, but there's a little thing
Yes, I do see
bold
that.
there. I know you don't have a favorite NHL team.
I do actually.
You do actually have an NHL team. Please do tell.
It is the Avs
Is the Avs?
because I have some family in Colorado, so that's like the closest team. Like connection wise, I don't like Chicago, so I'm not gonna do that.
Good.
So it is the Avs. I'm
You
not.
look at me. You look, not you, him.
I was
Don't
really,
pick
I
the
was
Blackhawks.
really worried you were going to pick the Blackhawks. I'm
They
not
were in
gonna
my
lie to you.
contention. I think what's the movie, Big, with Tom Hanks? They were wearing a Blackhawks jersey in that movie.
I can picture him.
Yeah, you know
In
what I
that
mean?
jersey,
You know,
but
you
I
know
don't
what I
know
mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it is the Avs.
It's the Avs?
I don't watch like a ton of hockey, but
Doesn't
if
matter.
I do tune in, that's
Still more respectable than.
Are the Avs good?
Yes.
I don't believe
They
it.
won They were Stanley Cup champions 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's big. Wait, what is?
And I actually went to Colorado very shortly after. And
Really?
everything was decorated.
Well, yeah,
It's
no,
crazy.
It's a huge
Oh, yeah.
ordeal. Moving on to NCAA hockey, a little bit of it was a bad weekend for Wisconsin.
Jinxed it, Liam.
I'm not gonna lie, me and my buddy Liam and Liam, we definitely jinxed it. We were talking about it, we were posting on Instagram. I don't know if you saw our stories.
Well, we jinxed it over here too.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Men's team and women's team are no longer number one. They have fallen from glory. The women's team got swept by Ohio State. They fall to number 3 behind Ohio State, who's now in first, and Colgate, who's now in number 2.
Colgate, like the dentistry.
Yeah.
No, well, no, Colgate like the university.
Oh.
So not the toothpaste.
So not the
toothpaste.
toothpaste.
No, not the toothpaste.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it's valid. It's valid.
For the viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The men's team was swept by number 11 Michigan State, so they fall to number 6. We had 1 week at number 1, baby.
Yes!
We had a week. We
When
were
was the
there.
last time before this past week?
Yeah.
When was the last time before this past week?
Oh,
Like a while?
2007.
So we take it.
Yeah, we'll take
We
it.
take it.
We'll take
It
it.
was a nice week.
Yeah, it was a nice week, and I'm glad we got it out of the way early. So it's not like we, climb the hill and then get our butts kicked like right at the end of the season. Like that would be very bad. I am again going to a Badger hockey game this Friday.
Yeah!
It'll be against
Go Liam.
Alaska Anchorage.
Wow.
You know Alaska has more Division I programs than Wisconsin does?
Really?
Yeah, they have Alaska Fairbanks, Alaska Anchorage, and we just have Madison.
I've got family in Alaska.
Do you actually?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful country. I almost said beautiful country. It's a beautiful state.
There you go.
Yeah, that's correct.
It's one of the 50.
Alaska is a state, not a country.
One of the 50 states.
Yes, and that's all I've got for hockey.
That's awesome, man. About the Badgers, though, they beat Nebraska. The football team beat
Oh.
Nebraska, which I believe we were saying that they go to a bowl game now.
Yes, they do, 'cause
because
they got
they
6
won
wins.
6 wins. Yeah.
22 years, baby! Let's go!
Streak continues.
Overall, I'm not gonna lie to you, I did think we were gonna lose to Nebraska.
What are we gonna go like the Cornhusk Bowl or something?
Something. Probably against Miami again.
The Jelly Bean Bowl
Jelly
because
Bean Bowl.
There's a billion of them.
they're probably gonna get us the most minor.
Speaking
yeah.
of bowls, Platteville's in the Culver's Isthmus Bowl.
Good for them.
Yeah, they made it to a bowl.
Those pioneers.
Good job.
Good job to them. That's the show this week. But we gotta give thanks because it's Thanksgiving. I am thankful for you guys here at the desk. Thanks so much for being here, and Brody. Thank you, Brody, for the first semester you've given us. Thank you to our tech, Aminee and Anthony, helping us out this week, and Aminee as always in there and are out here either way. Anthony's been here the last couple weeks. Thank you, Anthony. What else am I thankful for? I'm thankful for the Green Bay Packers. I'm thankful for the Chargers win. I'm thankful for hopefully a Lions victory or a Lions competitive game. As long as they make it look cool, I'm okay. And I'm so excited for some Thanksgiving food, and to see my family, of course. You guys.
All right. I'm thankful for being on the show.
We're happy to have you.
Yeah. It's at the demise of other people, but at least I get to get on here.
Yeah, screw you, Brody.
Thankful for the opportunity that I have to be on here.
Yeah, man.
Obviously, thankful for the recent sport events, just with the Packers and stuff like that, and the Bucks. Kind of figuring it out.
Turning around.
Early season again. I always say it. There's always a pit inside your stomach that's like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Figure it out, or I'm gonna be depressed. So
See this
them figuring it out. Very thankful, and thankful for my family, being able to go home, have some good food. So.
For sure. Liam.
I'm thankful that I get to go to a college that has a decent hockey program.
Pretty
Also
good.
that I actually
Pretty
get to
good.
go to college. That's pretty cool that I have the opportunity to do so. I'm thankful for the fact that during my time at college, I found opportunities that will allow me to advance my projected career in my
Liam's
lifetime.
on a path right now.
I'm on the path. I'm on the warpath, damn it. I'm getting there. Don't worry.
He's on. You just wait. If there's an announcement in the next coming week, you
Well,
know that.
hopefully.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Secret seat till then.
Thankful for my parents and my twin brother.
You have a twin brother?
Yeah, I do have a
Who's
twin
brought
brother.
that up before?
I didn't know.
You didn't know that?
I knew that. How did I know?
How did
you
Keaton
not
know that and you not know that?
You guys are always whispering each other at the hockey games in the corner. Aminee knew that too?
Whoa!
And thank you for watching
I wasn't.
SportsPoint.
Hold on, I wasn't done.
You don't get your
I
chance,
have one
you
more
rude.
thing. I have one more thing. I'm thankful for all the friendships that I have made currently being on this program,
Aw, Liam.
except for Frankie.
No. I'm thankful.
Thank you so much for watching this edition of SportsPoint. It's been another great episode. Things got a little wild here today, but it was so much fun. So, special Thanksgiving account here for you. So, happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the week with your families, and we'll see you next week on Monday. No major streams this week, obviously, because we will be away. But we'll be back Monday, and the following week, tune in for a hockey stream on Saturday night. From me, myself, and the boys, Keaton, Waala, Liam Statz, and myself, Frankie Breit. Aminee in the thing over there, the tech.
The fishbowl.
Yeah, thumbs up from her. And Anthony, thank you, sir. We'll see you guys next week on SportsPoint.